Alright, so we just finished examples 1 and 2. Now we're going to continue on with 2 more examples, 3 and 4, of solving right triangles. So make sure your calculator's ready, because here we go. Now for example 3, we've got to solve the right triangle rounding decimals to the nearest tenth again. And for this one, we're going to take a look at the 42 degrees, so we're given one angle. We've got to find angle B, we've got to find side BC, and we've got to find the length of side AB. So that's what we're going to have to work with. Easiest thing to do first is find the measure of angle B. Now to do that, we know that this angle right here is 42. Our other angle has to add up to 90 with it because those are our two acute interior angles of a right triangle. So all you need to do to find the measure of angle B is just subtract 90 minus 42. And that's going to give us 48. So the measure of angle B is going to be 48. Now to find side BC, for this piece, based on where the 42 is, BC is opposite. So I'm going to write OPP right there. So opposite of 42 degrees or angle A. And then the 70 feet, that's adjacent to angle A. So which trig function deals with opposite and adjacent? Well, if you said tangent, good for you. So then we're going to find BC by using that piece of it. We're going to use tangent of 42. And we're going to set that equal to BC. I don't know what that is yet, so it's going to be BC over my adjacent, which is 70. Now before, I know we can see it there on the screen, but we're going to show our work there, so we're going to have 70 times tangent of 42 to give us the length of BC, and then when we type that into our calculator, we get 63.0 for the length of BC. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now the last piece we have to find is side AB. Now AB, in this right triangle, AB is the hypotenuse. So I'm just going to write that as HYP. So that's my hypotenuse right there. Now the number that I'm given, the side that I'm given, is 70 feet. So I'm going to deal with the adjacent and hypotenuse. Here's a common mistake. You can't use anything you find to find something else. Let me repeat that again. You can't use found information to find additional information. So always make sure you only use whatever you're given to help you find any of the missing information on solving right triangles. So get after AB. We're going to use our hypotenuse along with our adjacent. So the one that deals with those two is our cosine function. So to find AB, we'll have cosine of 42 equals 70 over AB. And then we multiply both sides by AB to give us AB cos 42 equals 70, and then AB is going to be equal to 70 divided by cosine 42 because we just divide both sides by the cosine of 42. When we key that into our calculator, we get 94.2. Now when you're done, make sure that you take your time and you write your units next to each one of those pieces. So in your final answer, you're going to have all this information right here on the left with the correct units. So that's all there is for this problem, but make sure you take your time, show your work, and you should be all set and ready to rock and roll on this one. Now of course, we got one other problem just for you guys, and this will be it for this whole chapter. Holy cow, I can't believe we're done. Now look at this one. Solve the right triangle, round decimals to the nearest tenth. What I want you to do is try and find side HJ, first find the measure of angle G, and then find the measure of angle J. So here we go trying to find HJ. You just had to use Pythagorean Theorem for that one. 14 squared plus HJ squared equals the hypotenuse 16 squared. Working through our arithmetic, when we subtract 196 from both sides and then take our positive square root, you end up with HJ having a value of 7.7. To find the measure of angle G, we're just going to use our trig ratio of cosine of G being equal to 14 over 16 because we've got the adjacent and hypotenuse. And then our second step, that's where we go arc cosine of 14 over 16, whatever that ratio is. That'll give us a measure of angle G. Plugging that into our calculator, we get a nice even 29.0. Now the directions say round decimals to the nearest tenth, so we've got to make sure that we have the 0.0 there. Then to find angle J, we're just going to do 90 minus that 29.0 that we just found, and that'll give us 51.0. Then over on the left-hand side, just make sure that you identify all the pieces the values for all the pieces that you found. And that's it. So that's it for this entire chapter. This is the last video in this chapter on solving right triangles, and this should be pretty straightforward. With a little bit of practice, you guys will be rocking through this. But just remember the techniques that you got to use, and also take your time and show your work. Nice, neat, and organized. Your teacher's going to be happy, and you're going to be a lot happier because you're going to start to make some connections because you're going to be rocking this stuff out. Alright, you guys have a great afternoon, great evening, or great morning. Peace out.